뭐야 당아서 논지 논지 아니 소소 sem박 소노데 아니 실로나 들었다 아니 드니 소노 동게나 안도 속한가 sombato sopa kane ane susu nonji ganja di salata mi kane na sil mi ye na ane tanji jil pa mi ne ane ngazu gong kama kashi shi wa
So we'll first we will do just a short meditations together, and so therefore to trying to get rid of any thoughts, like distracting thoughts that you may have in your mind, and so trying to with this meditation practice, so you just keep the mind on the object. What really, it doesn't matter what object you use, what that you normally use for your daily meditations, whether it's breathings and so on. So you just trying to as much as possible to keep the mental focus on that objects. Thank you.
당아서 닝헬라 네 그런 version 단종이 중아 네 단조 대체와 단조 녀가와 신이 사제 선로 사브레스 사제 전부 사시.
So just to continue the teachings, so in the previously, so we finished about recognizing the human life of leisures and endowments. and then the understanding the meaning or the purpose of the life, and then they followed by then to the teaching on the difficulties, difficulty of finding such a life, a human life of leisures. So these are three topics, for like a reflect, for meditating. So, yes.
제장 다 돼서 로사와 이자 네 돼서 갈았다. 무슨 용내 용다. 네 지서 용 거야다. 네 드니 제트네 야 버스. 페나 소시가 네 치드팔라네. 네 다 tchen chasu tsudeyo, ngache chasu trawata. Ane sosi liten tigani, ta tsen tig dewari, tawe kompore, tochi chimpi kompore, gara drogo yana tig dribi nipa yepata. Ane ta tenrawi tilte tetani yunyu nyej mewa, tariga nyekawa, nyekawi tanjone, tondu yu nyambi kone. Ta tig tenla ni, ta garseng zupi sujeji kompo drotabi, nipa jiye za ni tindriga ta nimbo langkung nyongdi tindriga ta susuga tandiga litetiga ni nimbo langpa shago nyambiga ta nimbo sa zupi suji kumbu topi tas ni tenso nyonsa langpa shago ta zupi shunji ji suji ni dripi nipa na yore ta jena tsode yore ten za tazo nimbo lemba shago nyambi kumbone ne tatari tigune mendo eres.
So we reflect on or meditate on these topics, like such as we reflect on the how fortunate we are to have found this such a unique human life, and to realizing that this is the great human life is very unique, and it offers great opportunities because the life it possesses a great potentials. And so potential in terms of whatever it has to achieving, whatever we want to achieve in our life, whether that be something temporary goal or a long-term goal. So there is this we could have whether in terms of we talk about the goal that we seek in this life, or in immediate time frame, or in this life, or if the goal that we seek beyond this life, and then furthermore, we have these potentials. This human life offer the potential and the freedom to achieve even what we call as the complete state of enlightenment, which is the state of Buddhahood, perfect state of Buddhahood. So this is because in order to whatever goal we seek, to reach to that goal, we have to, on the one hand, we have to be free of all the obstacles to which obstacle in the sense which something which prevent us to reach to that goal, and on the other hand we have to have all the favorable conditions, all the favorable conditions which are necessary for us to reach our goal. So therefore, from the point of view of all these necessary conditions that we must have to achieve the goal, and on the other hand to be free of all these obstacles to to reach our goal. So we can see that this unique human life has all the has the potentials, full potentials, and so therefore, as an effect, so of such, reflecting on such these topics, then we should we should try to cultivate a thought of now how or thought of taking the purpose, taking the meaning or the essence of this life.
다 원한 힘보 랭귀에는 힘보 텔라 간데스 랭귀스나 텔라 셰우 춘거도 도모의 노정도 진의 도모의 노정도 셰우 친민 도모의 노주세는 선시해져 요레스 다 대이자 네 저거 셰우 춘리서 네 som바데 저다 딩을 바시셔서 성소스러와 바이딩이 봐.
So then we have to, in order to understand the goal or the purpose that we should which we can achieve by depending on such this life, this human life of leisures. And then to understand this purpose, then in this text explains the three levels of the purposes or the meanings. So, and each related to the correspond to the three types of, if you like, the three types of persons. A persons of small scope, or the person of middling scope, and the person of great scopes. So, and so therefore, I think we. In the last week teaching, so we gave the three important outlines for the meditation, which is the training. And the first is training in the stages of the path shared by the person of small scope, and then the training the mind in the stages of the path shared by the person of middling scope, and then training the mind in the stages of the path of the person of great scopes.
Ne tenzata si ton nimbolens tela nis teni son sunyori te inaya shewu chunga don jini ga ne ta tomoloju sekrwa ta teni te ne tewa chimbi ga ta lo yenro da ne tewa chimbi lo ne loju wala ne yelo ta ore de ores.
So these three stages of the path, or the training for the three types of the persons of small, middling, and the great scopes, really reflect the stages of our development of our path. And now, if we take in this path, in following this path, if we take the ultimate goal as the complete enlightenment or the Buddhahood, then this we are following the path of what we call as the person of the great scope, and which is the goal that we seek in that stages, of the great scope. So is is a supreme one, and so therefore it is in here when we talk about the taking the essence or the meaning of the life. Then it's saying saying here that we should be aiming this our life to achieve that ultimate or the supreme goal of complete enlightenment. So, from this perspective, of this complete enlightenment as our ultimate spiritual goal, then what will happen is the other two stages of the path, which we call as the stages of the path shared by the person of small scope and the shared by the person of middle scopes. So these two then become like like branches or the means for one to to progress along that the stages of the path to reach complete enlightenment.
Tatani个学务群里人个呢，多么罗的，呢，他学务前边个他啷个也劳动，严重着是卡的社会呢，呢，是他台湾前边个这些生意的，呢，提前老人就比个过来的嘞是，呢，台湾前边这些些话啦，伢了你以前没伢的那个过来是，你以前没听没个世界多些东啊都查那伢比个逻辑的是，等于说。생제 돈제가 니 누가 땡긴서 그거 그랬어. 누가 땡긴서 와라 네 녀라 네 때는 대제치 누가 쪼긴서 그거 그랬어. 대요 아니 생제가 누가 솜바티체 소소 릴 바쁘도 니 미니치만 투야가 아니 든지가 또빠지 시와라 녀라 아니 대제치 누가데 소식 롱토로 가네. 아니 강에 자송지 소소 롱도 관에 아니 시바시에 그거였어. 대인자 소소 롱도 관디살아 아니 년주생이 저거였어. 년주생이 저거였래. 대인자 대시원지를 하래 되었어.
So the first two, the trainings of the, which is the stages of the path of the small scopes, small and the middling scopes. So these are like become like a prerequisites for the for the person of the great scopes, whose goal is to achieve complete enlightenment, complete enlightenment. So now, if you look into the why the first two trainings, the training of the person of small and the middling scopes are the prerequisite for the training of the person of the great scopes, then we first of all we have to understand that one of the main features of this person of the great scope is the person's the mental attitude of altruisms, altruistic the mental attitudes of the which is the mind of enlightenment to or the aspirations to achieve enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. So this is the so in fact the person of what drive this drive or what motivation which motivate this the person of great scopes on the to aspiring to achieve the complete enlightenment. So is this what we call as the bodhicittas or this the mind of enlightenment, which is a strong wish, wish or the aspiration to achieve complete enlightenment. And so now, if we look into, and which in fact is called as the mind of the altruistic mind of enlightenment, is called as the entrance, like the entrance door to the to Mahayana, or the great vehicles, of Buddhisms. and so now if we look into that, the causes, how what causes this mind of enlightenment to arise, then the main cause is the compassions, the great compassions that towards all towards all sentient beings, and the compassions, by by definitions. So it is a strong sense of like the empathies, or the sense of being like feeling like unbearable of the other kind of sufferings that all the other sentient beings are undergoing, are inflicted with, in such that it is saying that when compassion arrives, then when in your experience, then you feel even to see the suffering of other beings, in such that even it says that even you could have a physically, you can feel like a goosebump, even the hair standing on, you feel that kind of emotions arises with the feeling of compassions, and when you observe the sufferings of the other sentient beings. So therefore, these, as you see, when we talk about this, the bodhicitta, or the altruistic mind of enlightenment, so this mind is really rooted in this is great compassions for all other sentient beings. And then, if we look into how to really how we can arise, how we can culminate such a great compassion for other sentient beings, then it is really much depends on your understanding of the sufferings of the other sentient beings, on the not just on a theoretical level, but on your emotional, on your experience level. You understand, you feeling the sufferings of other sentient beings. So this, then of course in the Buddhist literature, then when we talk about the suffering, so there are so many different levels of the suffering, but the one of the more like a subtle, or the more deeper kind of the nature of this type of the suffering is called as the all-pervasive suffering of conditionings. So, which is a nature of sufferings, nature of suffering which you see in the experience, whatever in all the experience of the other sentient beings. So it is said that in order to have such a sense of arise such a sense of compassions, then first one should have this same kind of compassions with regard to one's own life situations. That, in a sense, that how one is, the life is like a subject to unending nature of the suffering. So you have to. It is necessary for one to first, before one go and one is able to arouse this compassion for all other sentient beings, first one should arouse this. We don't call it compassions, but we call it like a sense of renunciations, which is the with respect to the one's own suffering situation, suffering in one's own life situations, and you have to feel that, recognizing one's own the kind of sufferings that one is subject to, and so one should have a strong wish, or to be free of that suffering. So this is what we call as renunciation, which is a thought of liberating or freeing oneself from this from the nature of suffering. So what we call the renunciations. So which is really one of the primary practice training, which is related to the person of the middling middling scopes. So therefore, this is how we can relate the training of the middling scope as their prerequisites for the training of the person of great scope.
Tindigi chiwin riga ta ngenju tiga ngela karno korsena ne tsendi no she do pate do kores tsendi no she sena ta tsende do shimani no ne zo shima de ne chiloshi o de tende wi lo de ni shewu chungi lo cha de ores 제자 드니 조름 바지는 로고 그래서와
and so here when we are relating to the training of the person of the middling scopes, who we reflect on the nature, suffering nature of the life, which we're not talking just about this current life, but in fact you see that suffering nature in any form of life, that one take within this what we call as a samsara, or within this cyclic existence, the entire cyclic existence, worldly existence. You see there's a suffering. If you remain in that, in this cyclic existence, then there is no true happiness. There's no there's no liberations. So now, in order to really to understand or to arouse such a what we call such a sense of renunciation, true renunciation of seeking the liberations from like a worldly existence or from samsaras. So first, one need to overcome what we call as the attachment towards this for example, towards the pleasure of this current life, and as well as the future life, also the pleasure in the future rebirth. So this is so it is the main training. One of the main training of the person of small scope is to really to working on to overcoming that the strong attachment towards the pleasure, the temporary pleasure that we find in this either in life, in this current life, or even in future rebirth. So therefore, such overcoming such the attachment to the worldly existence, to this life. So it is said that it is necessary, or it's become like necessary for in order to arouse this or to engage in the middling stages of the path.
ni tewa ta chewa chunga dunri ni lo jongwa te ni tewa chimbi go lo chi yelo ina ni tel so she gi pa mande was ro to wat ni le ro ta so she gi pa mande de ma shi du tsane tewa chimbi lo chi yelo ri se ne she jong ne ji de was ne ni tni ji tewa to ba le gres ro.
So in here, so we find the how to from here, how to reach to the complete enlightenment in a very very structured and a systematic order of the stages of the path, and so in here. In this path, so we just mentioned before that the stages of the path of small and the middling scope. So all these stages are prerequisite, or they all become like a part of the great stages of the path, to reach to the goal of the great stages of the path or leading to the great stages of the path, then you might, we might have asked this question, then why if these are all, even all these small and the middling stages are all the part of the great stages, once progress on the great stages of the path, then why we have these 3 stages, why we put these the stages of the path into 3 mental scope, rather than just saying one loss.
Tatela ne jinse gipa ni na bujin de isra jinse ji de garisana ngazo ne tewa chimi chile loju che ne ta ne soso ni tewa chimi ge chi nyolen ra che ta choke ne longor ne ta senje tonje tu ji sen jin zupe soje to bi che da ne tani ge nyolen ra wo che ne soso la yo ne tewa chimbo yin sombe ge ngajan ra wo koso ta chi mukache ta ne tewa chunga donji se ne koso te ma chao soso ya chimbo na tani ngajale de at so ne kyu tani ngajale de ngi te ga ne juku ta kola tewa chunga donji ga long somba ji ha ko sona o ta mande le la bo ji mande ne ni mande ga tu pa te chen she mande soso ji soso ga ngaja jo ha che ta nga tani yo ro si don no ji 다 간도 된저다 지 수케네 지 대화치 미그 지제 아니 드리징에 아다 저 가자 얘기도 아니 맞아야 그제다 아니 대화는 라니 소시버레스 네 시우친도 치서 시버레스 so one of the reason why the stages of the path are the categorized into those like 3 stages, 3 levels, like a small, middling, and the great stages. So this is one of the reasons is to really when following the stages of the great stages of the great path, then to overcoming, to overcoming the pride, and because in here we can understand that how even for someone who following the great stages of the path, and how important, how essential is is to integrating all the practices or the stages or the mental training that we find in the relating to the person of small scope and the great and the middling scopes. So therefore, if even if you consider yourself as someone who follow someone who is like a person of great scope, and so therefore you're trying to on a as part of your practice, such as even in the morning when you first get up, you're trying to, you cultivate this bodhicitta, or this altruistic mind of enlightenment, or great, compassion for others. You're trying to motivate that you to focus your effort, your energies in benefiting others, rather than to just limiting to one's own, the self-interest. So while doing this, then it's possible, you can, if one is not careful, then to look down upon, any other practitioner, other peoples, who are following the, path of of the small or the middling scopes, and and then to do by looking down on these, and then one can also feel the it may make one to criticize, despise those who are following the lesser path, and then on the one hand, on the other hand, you feel feeling pride in your mind that you
you are on these stages of the path, following the great stages of the path. Loss.
Ne jeni pate ni shewte jela so logi ni shi sekro deja umbo randi san le gros ane umbo memba to ni la hoteka ni ta zupe suji kombo to ni tni mombo shi de na ni lol chuo mares de inza ane ta chugo mene ko zol chugo yo mares ni sha sha nan de yo marwa de inza tomate shewu chunga da ane di to de ran ji de so umbo randi ki chiwen ko ne ane
and so of course another reason is that it not is because the with regard to those the followers of the spiritual path, so there are various mental capacities. Some have like the low capacities, some of it the higher capacities, and so therefore these three stages, the stages of the path, so therefore is divided into three. So in order to suit the mental capacities, mental capacity or the mental scope of the various people, various followers or the trainees.
Tate za tate sheo chuni chesono ne tomo sheo chungi di shedi zala nin chowa mo topa she chondo yusirwa. Ten za ta tombo tela karisi na chino chowa mo topa tenpa ina ane penye kare yores. Ma tenpa ina nimi kare yores. Rwa ane te shegando yus.
So with regard to this, the teaching on the stages of the path. So so we first begin with the training the mind in the stages of the path shared by the person of small scope, and so one of the first topics that which relating to the person of small scope is on impermanence, how things are impermanence, and so this we can understand, gain the understanding of these topics. First, looking into or contemplating on the first the why we need to what is the benefit of meditating or thinking on the impermanence, and if we what are the shortcoming or the that if we are if we don't meditate, or if you are not if you have no awareness of this the impermanence of things.
맞은 저와 못도박 생기되는 못도박 라빠지래 서와 대 곰바이나 가려서나 아니 다 마곰바이나 님이 가려서나 시단에 맞죠 못제는 시그레 선바지나 차성을 요래서와 이나요 대유 마거나 다 드리고 시그 말에 손이 시그 말에 로지라 시그 말에 니제라 시그 말에 쭉지라 시그 말에 소소지 드니지네 파파파 전에 아니 지체지대 아니 라파 중네 지라 탱게요 말레스 니데시만 로에가 다디체게요 말레스.
Yes. So in here the teaching on impermanence is specifically relating to our life, like the death impermanence. And so why and through this meditating on the death impermanence, then we can develop the awareness of death, and so therefore why we need to cultivate that awareness. What is the use of cultivating that awareness? So it's because without because it will help us to really to overcome what we call as the laziness of especially the laziness of procrastinations that is delaying the time of the our practice. Here, of course, we're talking about engaging in the spiritual practice. So, and then, but without this, some awareness of the death, then even we may have some general understanding, knowledge, or we know very clearly that one day we will lose our life, or we have to die, and but yet at the same time, we hold this our life as if it's permanent. Because we hold that we tend to believe, tend to think that that I won't die today, and then maybe I won't die next day, or or next month, or the next years, and within 10 days. So therefore, because of this underneath view of holding oneself life as almost like eternal, that we think that we have more time to do the practice. We will keep delaying from today to next day and the next month and the year and so on. So it is to overcome that kind of the mentalities that we there's a benefit. We meditate on this death impermanence.
Kesi ta chendel chite shenayo choma topa yuma gona ne chit chepa te chendi cheta roata ne gewa kara chena ti nipa chushu ne chishmal chedi na te nipa chushu shibu jire de ko resro.
And also we can also see how without this the awareness of this death, then all of the energies, or even including even the energy and the effort that we put in our dharma, spiritual practice, so that also becomes very really become something to serve this current life, this just for this immediate to benefit this immediate life, and so therefore the technically speaking, so therefore it is cautionable then whether our practice that we do, whether it's really a true dharma practice or not, and also then so obviously it also makes our practice very very weak and very ineffective.
Ani ya chowa ni tembi chowa motopa tembi ko loji ya poji shewa ina ani penya kar yorsena ani pena matsu saju yamba jilan roya ka ta che de na roya ka tadi che karwa te noji ga ani ta cheshima lan roya ka tadi che yala ni tadi shu chi mu che ya tani pendu yores.
So also it also make us with the awareness of death, then if we it will motivate or make us think about our future, future lives, what what happened, where we go after this, and then to if you consider the life as a journey, and then how when you know that you are going to a next place, then we would normally prepare ourselves to for the next for the next destinations. So in the same way, I think there's with the awareness of the death, the awareness of the death, then it kind of make us think and do certain things to prepare ourselves for the future life.
Pena ne danasala la genshirwa nane ne mengun nimachi mengun temro disala yinaya de ane ta try menge tndi rete shas ane tndi sine membela disala ne kipa kechat ne ane ngete shochi tunga yorwes ne shochi tunga yores inaya shochi tunga ina chiro da trade de gres shochi matunga ina chiro da wasna de gres ane shochi tungsane ane chiro te nagres ta monji ji momboji te tradiso de kgesare ane ta shochi matunga ina ta tanra tagarong te ne da wasna ro den ro gres ne tani shes hensa tani kishachi matune ane da wasna celta kisi shachi tunga ina kichidat samares shachi matunga de ina kichidat sare sone ne ki da wasna rinla koro chidya de chidya Yeshe ne koro tunghala motela ko mutsig nula ni tik dawa ti santi de chida ta ju ma so mutsig nula mutse tu no do ta ti dawa santi la do aina dawa santi no ni chida ta chesos at ni se ne pi Yeshe ro gawi ngone ne tungha ta ni ke chi res
just this story of one old monk in India, in Dharamsalas. So he was diagnosed with some sort of cancers, and then the doctors said that he checked that is there any possibility for him to if he have operations, surgeries, if whether he can be cured or not, or how long he can live. So the doctor advised that he could extend for he can live another 6 months if you go ahead with the surgery, but if you don't, maybe in 3 months. They gave him 3 months. So the monk and also of course if you go with the surgery, then it will, even though he can live a bit longer, but it will have a lot of he has to go through a lot of pain, and there's a lot of other side effects and disadvantages. So anyway, at the end, so this monk, he decided to not to have a surgery, and so therefore he realized that he's got only 3 months left, and then he more than ever before, he took that every single day, every single moment, very serious with his Dharma practice, and then he was saying to people that what he has practiced, that he has done in the last 3 months, and what he is able to achieve in his practice is something that he's never in a whole lifetime, he was never able to, he'd never done and had never achieved like that.
Ta wana ngazo ni del chowa matopa ti lo jungwa te ni yukun chesona ni susu gi nyeda ni susu gi sa chan ju gi no lu che to khatan ro sa re so ne ni del tropi tono ti yerwa ti tinji gi tono te do a cha gi che ta ni matopa gombare we ne tere yo mares.
So that story shows how the death awareness can help one to motivate, to have a strong motivation for one's the focus on one's spiritual practice, and so now the relating to the meditation of the death impermanence. So we can also raise the question whether is this we are doing this death impermanence so that we can we can just overcome our like a fear, fear of losing all the things that one is attached to, or one's things that you cherishes, such as whether it's a wealth or the people close, like a friends and those people who are close to one. So, but that's so. Of course, the reason is not just for that purpose, not just to overcome that fear. So, and also it is on one hand, to and also it is not, the idea is also why we meditate on death impermanence is to actually to prevent or to the death itself. So this, of course, is something which we cannot achieve, and because because it is the fact that that the birth result in death, and so therefore it is due to karma and due to mental afflictions that we take birth, and so due to the karma and the mental afflictions, and then the death also becomes inevitable.
아니 가릉 방고요르세나 아주 시위 제스라니 녀손라 소피기 시와데 고 아니 녀토라 소피 시와데 저기요레스
so rather the purpose of the death, this impermanent meditation is to enable us to work on or to create the causes for the better futures, so that we don't take like a bad rebirth in future, and rather instead of bad rebirth, so we can take a good rebirth.
That you would ne Chowatemba Constella Carisana, it's our son to Jense Gassine, and it is on my share on this row.
Okay, so we won't go any further, but what we find in the text that we are studying, so where this meditation on this the death impermanence is include like three roots, and then there are 9 reasons, which are the 3 reasons for each one of those 3 roots, and these are some sort of the point of our meditation. So we will continue that in next week's teachings.
I need to run a year.
If anyone has a question, yep.
How long did the monk live?
Tawadi daosum la dera kazu dera sa.
Daosum la dera sa.
Antongwe. Yeah.
So the koro tongkala motelando ah. Como sigue no do. Tanda dawasa chizo ite doa ina. Tanda dawasa timolpi yapuchinsos.
Ko tongre. Daosum ja. Only 3 months. The doctor was right. Yeah. He passed away after 3 months, but he just it helped for him because of this what happened in his life, that he was able to seize the opportunities of to make the best meaning of his life. No. Right. And not only that, then he had a very peaceful, dying, and absolutely there's no fears. Yes.
Of the three types of suffering, suffering and change, the third one, all-pervasive suffering, I just wondered if is it possible to identify that, or is it so subtle, like is it all-pervasive? It seems very...
동네 숨세죠라. 직주와 동네 세당도디요. 디 동네 차버두제 동네에서 가르치고 그랬으면
맞아.
거기요.
고에 등하시고 다대 고에 등하 소진일에 집힌보트 시고 그랬어. 로아 소진일에 집힌보트 레니온 기슈미 그 짓소라. 네. 딱 그랬어. 네, 늦지 등하세. 로아. 어디시고 그랬어. 다 두두나한테 맞듯이 이제 뭐 보자고 뭐 여러.
Yeah, it's very so in short, so this pervasive sufferings refer to the anything that is a result from karma, the karma and the mental affliction, like mental delusions, such as including this body that we have got. Life that we've got, which is the product of the karma, and so therefore it is all-pervasive, sufferings of conditionings, and so this conditioning all-pervasive in the sense it's that it exists in all the form of life, within the circular existence.
소진여와래 비핀보 소진여와래 비핀보테 낸드지 동아 쳐대스 근데 예 사유지 그때라니 제가나 지금 동아들 여러 와서
yeah. So because we have this we use the term aggregates, there's the contaminated aggregates which is the result from which result from the karma. So it's because of this then we have there's we cannot stop the sufferings. So there's a suffering nature. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay. Any more? Well, the technically referring to the aggregate itself, whether the aggregate of this, form, feeling, the everything, all we have, what we are constituted of. So these are all has the nature of sufferings, and therefore it's called as the all-pervasive sufferings.
Dedications, page